brother. The music in the background that you're hearing is my little brother. And I stumbled on this video last night and I got, of course, a download with the video, the title just itself, and then when I just played the song, it was like it sang to me in a way that it hadn't before. I'm going to post a link below so that you can listen to it without me talking over. So this, sorry, I have to turn it down a little bit. So this song really kind of also brought back a memory of my first experience on stage, and kind of how that all kind of went about. And it was kind of based around the whole scenario of this video. So if you go back on the video and watch it, you'll see my little brother up on stage. They're in a bar in San Francisco, and they were just there, I think, hanging out. I don't even think they were, like, he wasn't there performing or anything. And my mom is kind of like one of those people that's like throws you up on stage and like makes you perform. And that's what happened to him. And I don't think he even really wanted to do it. But there's so much beauty in the song that you can see that even though he was, kind of forced into the situation, he was still able to tap into that beautiful part of himself that really just loved music for what music really was. And I was just like, holy mackerel. Oh my gosh, that's everything that was wrong with me when it came to music. Like, the reason that I quit the band and the reason that I quit music for so long was because my heart wasn't in the right place, and I knew it. And the song told me that, because it was like, a dream is a wish your heart makes. And when I started playing music, I was like, this is not how I want it to be. I want it to be something that doesn't scare me. I want it to be something that, I can get on stage and sing and I feel good, and I can pour my heart into the music and it's not overshadowed by all this fear and anxiety. And then it also just reminded me of how much in my life I was just kind of put through this intense boot camp of overcoming fears and phobias that have just like penetrated my every being and just inflicted themselves on me so deeply, especially with performing, being on stage, and how we just kind of, my mom was just like, okay, so you've kind of been singing these songs your whole life, so you should know all the parts, so we need some background singers, and you need money, so I'll pay you $50 if you get on stage and sing for me. And so we're like, okay, let's do it. So we did it, me and my sister, and it was terrifying. Holy moly. Like, you kind of grow up singing the songs, you think you know all the parts, and then you get on stage and you're like, we never practiced, not even once, not even tried. It was like we got on stage and that was our first practice. Oh my gosh, my heart is just like racing thinking about it. And after that, we were in the band. So everything I learned about music, I had to learn performing in front of people. I had to fake it until I made it. And that just kind of, this video just like brought those memories back, just like it just pouring back through my heart. And I was like, when I got out of the band, it was the best thing that I ever did. Being able to tap into the musical part of myself that wasn't controlled by another person, that wasn't telling me what songs I had to learn, what songs I had to sing, what kind of music I had to play. I just got to explore music in my own form. I got really into like playing my guitar in drop D because I was kind of into metal for a little bit. And I was just like, I never got to experience that when I was in the band because I was always so focused on learning all these classic rock songs and stuff like that. And sorry, I gotta stop that. It really, being able to explore that side of me musically without having this, you have to learn this, you have to learn it this way, you have to learn this kind of music, and you can't focus on anything else because this is more important right now because you're getting paid to do this. So that's where it came from. It all came down to money. Right down to the very core of the issue with my own musical blocks was money. I only did it for the money and I didn't do it for the music. And when I got out of doing it for the money and I started doing it for the music, everything changed. Music became beautiful to me again. I loved it. I started exploring parts of myself that I didn't have before. I started playing styles of music that I didn't even know I could create. And that really just goes right back to that a dream is a wish your heart makes. So when I first started making music and playing music, not really making music, playing music, I was so unhappy that I think every time I went to bed, I just wished that it could be better, that I could feel music in the way that my heart wanted it to feel. My heart wanted to be in a different place with music than it was. My heart wanted to be in a heart-based musical influence that wasn't driven by money, wasn't driven by ego, wasn't driven by anything, was only driven by my own desire to do music. That was a hard one. So what this song is really about is manifestation. Manifesting what your heart really wants when you go into dream state, because once you go into dream state, your ego isn't in control anymore and your heart is manifesting for you, and that's really what it comes down to. My ego wasn't running the show anymore when I would go to sleep, but I was still, in that musical frequency. So my heart was saying, vibrate me a better musical experience. I don't care how long it takes. Bring something better into my life that's more fulfilling. And that's exactly what happened. And it happened in a really weird way. My tower fell apart. I got pregnant. I quit the band. I quit playing music completely for like 2 or 3 years before I picked up my guitar again. And it was that break that I took from music and then coming back to it with a new perspective and a new desire and a new intention. It was that new intention for music. There was no ego involved. I wasn't making music for anybody but myself. I wasn't even making it to share it with anybody. I shared it on my SoundCloud and that's it. It was like, and then I shared it, I think, on my Facebook a couple times, but nobody really noticed because, it's amateur music, nothing fancy or anything, but it was fulfilling to me, just creating it. And I was also working 2 jobs, so I would come home from the bar at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would be like on like my 4th Red Bull, and so there'd be this period of time between like 3 and 6 a.m. where I'm like wide awake, like in my house, there's nobody around, so I'm like there with my headphones on, freaking making music, because that's all I could do between those hours. And because I was taking a lot of like Korean red ginseng and drinking a lot of Red Bull, and like you can't just go home and go to sleep, and I couldn't go home and get wasted either because I had to get up and go back to work in the morning, start work again. I used to, work 2 jobs, so it was a lot. But I think taking the money out of the music for me was the most healing parts of me, and that's when I really got to actually develop the musical parts of me that were healing and not destructive. So it really goes back to my core issues with money. It's one of my biggest things that I have to overcome, one of my biggest blocks that I have to overcome and that I have to understand, and it's something that I'm being shown so many different angles that this has shadowed my life. I know where the core of the issue is, but I'm still finding out all the other little small aspects of that core of the issue, because you can find the core and you can transmute the core, but there's still going to be the little stray hairs that are flying around that you still haven't dealt with. And that's what keeps coming up, and I'm asking for it. I want them to come up because I want to heal them. I don't want them to hide in the shadows anymore. I'm done with that. I'm so done with that. It ruined my life for long enough. I'm done. I think that a lot of us face this, and I think it's a big core wound that we all came in with, is this, it's a misalignment of energetic frequency when it comes to money. We don't manifest it properly because our intentions aren't usually in the right place, if that makes any sense. A lot of times we're coming from a place of lack when we're trying to manifest money. So instead of manifesting money, we manifest more lack. But we don't realize it because we think we're trying to manifest money, but really we're coming from a place of lack and manifesting more lack. And I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, even though I learned about the law of attraction like 10 years ago. And it didn't click for me till like 7 months ago. Or not even 7 months ago when I woke up. It still took a little while. I'm talking the law of attraction didn't click for me till like a few months ago, maybe 2 or 3. It could be even sooner than that. I can't tell you exactly when it clicked for me, but when it did, then I was just like, holy what? I've been doing this wrong. I've been doing this so wrong the whole time. Just doing it wrong. Going about it the wrong way. And thinking I was doing it right. Thought I knew everything, but it really didn't. It really didn't. It was just like, yeah. Email me if you're having similar problems and let's talk about it because, man, this is a big one. And I think we're all facing this. I think that's why there's so many money issues. And I think that's why so many starseeds are broke because we don't understand. A lot of us have been manifesting, especially when it comes to money, because we don't understand it from the right perspective, because we've been in such a programmed system of blockage and lack and not ever having and not being able to give because we don't have, and just a whole lot of kerfuffle. So let's get over that. Let's figure out how to get past that. I'm still figuring that out. I haven't figured it out all the way yet. I'm working on it.